My name is Emmanuel. I am a performance marketer. I was once a meta marketing pro for over 2 years, where I worked with businesses across sub-Saharan African region. So I was in charge of businesses running ads on Facebook in Africa, English-speaking African countries. And I've worked in different marketing agencies. And at present, I work as a performance marketer with a fintech that help businesses with expense and financial management. So between the rising cost of goods and unprecedented economy, and also the ever-changing customer behavior, it can feel as if one is fighting a losing battle. But the truth is this: small businesses and individual. Let me say this as a disclaimer. When I say small businesses, I don't mean your business is small. So small businesses are considered businesses within a particular location. I recall a particular time where I was speaking somewhere, and I told a particular business owner that your business is small, and the man mentioned that, God forbid, my business is not small. Anyway, that's on a lighter note. But it is not just the cost, inflation, also consumer behavior is dynamic. It is not static. And let's face the reality. Evidence and data has shown that about 65% of businesses in Nigeria operate on a budget of less than 500,000 naira monthly. Yet, the same business is trying to reach the same customer that big brands are also reaching. Now, it now becomes a tug of war. Who reaches the customer first? What is the customer buying position? And what makes the customer stand out? So today, we'll be unpacking the nuances, the areas that businesses can compete, and individuals that are marketing professionals can also compete to reach their target audience. We'll be looking at 3 frameworks to highlight this. Number 1, communicate. Number 2, connect. And number 3, strategy, right? So we'll look at create a strategy, we'll look at communicate effectively, and we'll also look at connecting with the right audience. Now, more often than not, I've heard people talk about, when you ask business owners, who are your target audience? You hear things like, everybody are my target audience. While that is true, from a positive mindset, in marketing, it doesn't work that way. Everybody cannot be your target audience. So we'll look at creating strategy, effective communication, and also reaching out to your target audience effectively, and how all of these can help get you to do more with less. So as we progress, so today, whether you're a business owner or you are a marketer starting out with limited budget, one thing I want you to know is that there's always season. Number 1, you can leverage your strategy, you can leverage your communication, and you can also leverage strategic season to reach out to your target audience. By the time we are done, we'll be walking away with practical examples, practical steps, practical insights that can help you build trust. Like it is mentioned, that one of the fastest way to get your target audience to take action is that you first build trust. So we'll look at areas that business owners can build trust and reach out to their target audience. But before I speak on the strategies, I have a question. Miriam has been a business consultant, so we'll be looking at practical examples. And like I earlier mentioned, if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section and I would respond to that. So Miriam, from your experience, before we move in, we're already into the session. Can you tell us what are the common challenges you face when you are consulting? Like in this context, I mean, trying to understand business owners' pain points and how they can meet their, how you can help them solve their challenges. So Miriam, like I earlier asked, can you share some of the concerns that you've seen a lot of business owners miss out when trying to go into their marketing for businesses? So we can start from there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. So we do different kinds of checks and consultations with business owners. So we are specifically dealing with business owners now, right? We're still coming to the marketers part. So most times I discovered that it's either they don't even have a budget at all, or they think it's too much. for them to get to do something good for their business, they are thinking too far around the money. Either they don't have a budget at all, or they feel, if we have to do this, that's a whole lot of money. But there are always middle ground, and that middle ground is where the strategy is at. For so many SMEs, marketing feels like a money pit. You try ads, you try content, but nothing seems consistent, right?
Okay.
So this is usually the issue I see. It's either I don't have enough money to do my budget, or I feel I'll be wasting money. Some people actually think that putting aside marketing budget is actually a waste of money. And I've seen some fintechs when they are building a product, or maybe not fintechs, let me put it at tech companies. Okay. They start building a product. And this is also to maybe some SMEs. You start up a business, but the marketing doesn't come to your mind. You just want to sell. You just say, buy my markets. But you don't think you should put aside a little budget, or at least come to the middle ground where you understand the strategy that can make your business move with little or no budget. Right. So, Emmanuel, what do you have to say about this? Let me throw that. This is what I usually see, right? So what do you think about that? How do you come in there?
Amazing. Trust me. So I like having surveys when speaking. If you know you're a business owner here, can you kindly give a reaction with the thumbs up button, or which of the emojis there? I have my eyes in the comment section, so I can take a look at that. If you know you're a business owner here, or you're a marketer here, can you kindly respond with any? Okay, I can say Williams. Okay, that's amazing. Hope, thank you so much. Gifts, thank you so much for sharing that. Now, like you rightly mentioned, a lot of business owners or marketers think that when they hear marketing, it's not something that they need to put in more effort. Marketing is strategy. Just so you know, the word strategy in itself is a war term, is a military term, right? Now, marketing in itself is not always about budgets. I spent a lot of budget on campaigns, right? And currently that is not important on this call, right? But when it comes to managing campaign budgets, I have managed quite a number of campaign budgets. But the thing is this, marketing in itself is not always first about budgets. We started the session. Today, I was speaking with a very dear friend and a senior industry colleague. We're trying to brainstorm about something, and the first thing this dear colleague of mine mentioned is, what is the campaign budget? And that was where we started a fresh conversation regarding what marketing in itself is all about. Like you rightly mentioned, a number of business owners or marketers see that what makes a great marketing or strategy is the budget in itself. Budget is important, no doubt, but it is not all that makes up a fantastic marketing or approach. Now, what are the 3 C's, like I earlier mentioned? Number 1, create strategies that work. Marketing in itself is war, right? So you need to know what works. Let's presume, how many business owners do we have here? If you're a business owner, just drop in the comment section what business you do, what do you sell. I've run campaigns for different businesses. I think the only business I've not run campaign for, I can't recall. I've run campaigns for fintech, even funeral homes. Yes, I remember my time as a meta marketing pro. I had a business I had a particular brand from Ghana. It's a funeral home, and I also had 2 from Kenya and South Africa. What they do is they rebrand tomb, right? They customize tomb. And the strategy was, what do you want to do? Okay, amazing. Andre, you do solar installation. Mm-hmm. So I would run with that, right? As my communication line for this stuff. I will stop sharing my screen, right? Miriam, okay, I'll stop sharing my screen so I can just focus. The slide is just a guide. So I don't want to be boxed with the slide. So just follow me and let's progress. Now, Andrea mentioned that she does solar installation. What is the commonest challenge? Number 1, strategy, right? Doing more with less. For how long have you been doing this, Andrea? How long have you been doing Okay, I can say music person. You can unmute your mic and speak.
Well, I've been into it well over a year now.
Over a year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hope mentions a content writer. William said he's into music. Now that's interesting, right? Esther mentioned window installation. Now the thing is this: number one, the first C, logistic strategy. Let me highlight the pain point of all of these businesses. Most times, a lot of us as business owners or marketing professional do our strategy from the point of, as a professional, one of the things I first learned is that when you are doing your strategy, you put yourself in the shoe of your target audience, right? Do as if that you are the one that would use the product, not sell the product. So, for example, solar installation. What is the commonest challenge? People think it's expensive. People think that it's number one. People think it's expensive. People think that it only works when the sun comes out, right? People think that you need to have huge budget and space. Some people think that solar only powers bulb, light, and home appliances. People don't know. Some people don't know that you can use your solar for the same thing that you do with your electricity, right? From wherever you are, you can still use your solar system to power your refrigerator, your iron, and every other thing. It's still a myth. Now, should we now say, as a business, if I was to drop a strategy for that, first thing I would do is to highlight the pain points. What are the pain points? What are the myths, right? You start busting these myths in that context. What this does is it makes you an authority. People, when it comes to solar installation, they've seen your content, right? Miriam does this a lot. She does this fantastic. She does this amazingly well than I do, right? When it comes to content strategy for businesses. Now, what are the first things you need to start talking about? Number one, what are the concerns? What are the fear people have? Remember, people only take action when they can trust you and make the decision. So this is October. We have December coming up in less than 14 weeks from now. And a lot of people want to go back home. Electricity is there. You can appeal to their emotions on why they need solar system. Number one, the cost, it does not bring a recurring cost unlike what you have with electricity or other alternative for power, like your PHCN or whatever it's called now. You have to buy electricity always. But with solar installation, once you fix it, it's a one-time and that is all. You can always scale. Now, content strategy. Why should they trust you? Why should they take action? Why is it better? Somebody who buys fuel 5,000 naira every month, every week, in 1 month, the person is already spending about 20,000 naira, right? 20,000 naira times 1 year, you know how much the person is spending. So you can begin to highlight all of these benefits that they stand to get if they get solar system. Somebody talked about music, right? Music is quite interesting, right? It's a whole lot. I've seen some of your favorite artists also run ads on different social media platforms, on Google, on Facebook. So if you're an artist, why should people get your music? The strategy. Can you get influencers on TikTok to use your sound as a background sound for their content? That is one of the fastest way music trend right now. People use it as sound, as background sound for their videos. Where we have a lot of them, right? People now go back to old music to use that. So in the bottom line, what I'm trying to say is that number one, the strategy should come into place first is your content strategy. These contents can talk about why they should trust you, what are their pain points, how does your product address these pain points. The next part is answering the questions that they have in their mind. For example, someone talk about logistics, for example. Except you want to be economical with the truth, on this call, you would agree with me that sometimes logistics is solely dependent on trust, right? On Friday, I was expecting a particular delivery from my organization, and I could see that the driver was not moving, and it took longer time than expected. I was once a customer service person with one of the e-hailing companies in Nigeria. And one of the challenges that we have with logistics, the dispatch rider, number one, either they don't deliver on time, or it is a situation of, I'm not saying that is what your brand does. There are incidents from my experience where people order for food and there are allegations that the dispatch rider had eaten the food, right? Or there are instances where this dispatch rider, in order to do something very fast, right, they collect your product instead of using the platform so that both the receiver and the sender can keep track of the product. They go off and collect different products, go deliver somewhere else before coming to deliver yours. Now, how can you now do this? You can come up and make a bold claim. I was coming to that, but since this already came up, I remember when I first began performance marketing in my first agency, there's something called irresistible offer. You need to give your target audience offer. In the agency then, my boss mentioned that if we run your ads for you and you don't get any results, you have the right to request for full refund of your money. But you must run your ads with us for 30 days. What does this do? It takes away the burden and the fear, right? So as a logistic company, what are the things, what makes you different from other people? Is it superior customer service? This is already the customer service week, right? Is it superior customer service? You may not be able to win in budgets. You may not be able to win when it comes to team member, to staff strength, but you can win with superior customer experience. So this is part of the strategy that business owners can leverage on to do more with less. I strongly believe, without any reservation, that nobody here would get superior customer experience from a particular brand and would not go back. I have a lot of examples. Last week, I was in the market. I wanted to get air freshener, right? And when the woman came out in Nigeria, I know we have different people from different locations or different part of Africa on this call, right? I remember the woman came out and I asked the woman if she had set to transfer. She said yes. Though what I wanted to buy was quite small, the amount less than 1,000 naira. But the way she was smiling, the way she was all over me, I was carrying something. The load I bought were very heavy, and she stretched her hand to support me to drop them. I was like, wow, these are people. So the thing is this, right? In marketing, people make decisions subconsciously without they even knowing. When I saw her trying to give a lending hand to support me, my mind was like, wow, this is impressive. Then we started talking. I started buying things that I do not really need at that moment. I bought things from her in some good amount of money beyond what I initially wanted to buy. Number one, I love the way she engaged me. I love the way she showed empathy, right? The thing is this: customers will always be customers. Though to some extent I disagree with the saying that customers are always king, right? Customers are not king, right? In a situation where demand is high, the supplier is the king. But what am I trying to say? In the light of the customer service week that is ongoing, superior customer experience would beat any competitor, even with budget, right? Your customers will now move from being customers to now ambassador and trying to influence a number of other of the family. Trust me, all of us here, fine. A number of us joined this session either because you know me or you know Miriam or somebody you know mentioned it. People make decisions based on other people's testimony. So, number one, another strategy that you can deploy is fine. I may not have the full budget, but as far as my product is concerned, anybody that interacted with my business will get superior customer service, superior customer experience. I will treat them in a way that nobody has ever treated them. This is another strategy that business owner can leverage on to do more, even with less budget. In addition to that, one of the key things again, somebody mentioned here, window blind, right? Esther mentioned she sells window blind. For example, I've not used window blind before, and I've one of the key things that intrigue me when I go to market is when I see the seller displaying competent understanding of the product and not being salesy. Remember, nobody wants to be sold to. The moment I remember one time, the first time Miriam and I met, and we were discussing, and I was just talking, and she said, "No, you are selling to me, right?" Human being can dictate when you're trying to sell to them, even if they don't outrightly identify that you're trying to sell to me. They know. Now the point is this: you sell window blind. What are the category of window blind people are getting? Let's say, for example, I have window blind of 40,000, I have a window blind of 60,000, and I have a window blind of 100,000, and I have a customer. This is also one of the strategies that has been deployed in the informal sector. It's also available in the when I mean the informal sector, I mean those who are in the market, in the traditional market. For example, I remember when I was furnishing my apartment, I got into the market and I asked the person who was selling the interior the curtains, and the man took his time to say, "If you buy this one is fabric. You are not yet married. You will like it. This one is stain resistant. It's easy to wash. But this one, it takes a lot of strength. I don't want any of this." So when I see business owners display competence and sell based on what I need and how it solves my problem, these are also areas that you can leverage on. Now, moving forward to the next strategy that we have. The second strategy that we have is, like I mentioned, communication. Today is October 7th. Next month, all the Fridays in November is considered Black Friday, where sales, a lot of people would want to go buy things and all of that. The thing is this: how do you communicate your product? What do you tell them? How do you let them understand that your product is what best solve their concern, right? For example, as somebody who work from home, and let's say I want to buy a laptop, right? This is more practical. A lot of you here, one of the reasons why you choose your phone or the brand that you choose is first, for women. I may not have the full data, but I know that women, one of the primary indicators that make them buy their phone is the camera quality. Yes or yes? That's true. Okay, Williams corroborated that. A lot of people, one of the reasons why they buy their phone for women is because of the camera quality. For guys, some look at the battery life, some look at the RAM, some look at core features like NFC. Does it have dual? My phone has two windows, two interface, and the phone has two passwords, so I can either log into one and log into the other one. I like that, but that may not be what intrigues another person. Now, how do you communicate your product? Are you communicating your product as if you are trying to beg your target audience? For example, you see people who I'm not saying this because it's not bad. Sorry, I'm not saying this because it is outrightly bad, but I'm just saying that it will only resonate with the kind of people you want to attract. I have a number of friends, family members, church members who sell jewelry, wristwatch, or thrift, and you see them on their status saying things like, "If you don't buy from me, I'll beg you for 2K." Or some will say, "Help me post on your status. My buyer, my customer is on your status," right? Some will just post funny meme. You're laughing. Some will post funny stuff like, "If you don't beg me, if you don't buy from me, I'll beg you for 2K. If you don't buy from me, don't ask me when I blow," right? All this funny stuff, right? It's in itself is not bad. It will only resonate with the kind of people you are communicating with. But as business owner who want to do more with less, for example, let's say I sell laptops. One of the things I will sell to my target audience is that there's power issue in Nigeria. The laptop battery lasts longer, right? Not features like, oh, it has 13 inches screen. How many of us even know this screen inches? No. So if you begin to sell, how your communication in itself is also a key point that can help you do more even when you don't have big budget. I also talk about the budget aspect and the marketing in itself. Though some school of thought consider all of this as branding, the communication, yes, but we are calling this the 3C: create strategy, right? Create an effective communication. How you communicate your product in itself matters a lot. When I rounded up my National Youth Service, I served in one of the most beautiful states in Nigeria, right? I know a lot of you are eager to listen to hear the name of the state. Don't worry. I won't. Shall I mention it? Right? Trust me. If I would serve again, I would choose the state over and over, right? Because they treated me very well. I think that was part of the reasons why NYC was created. But the thing is this: when I was serving, I observed that there was so much granite in that environment. I started selling granites. Then I came back to Lagos as a young graduate who just rounded off university, looking for money. I started selling granules. Somebody's laughing. Yes, I've sold granules before, right? And I started, my mom sells it. I saw her do it while we were growing up. Then with my academic experience, I said, okay, let me fleshing things out to make it look more corporate. So I got some stickers, got branding, got labeling, and all of that. Then I noticed my mom was not using sand, to sharp sand to roast hers. Yes, it's called roasted granules. So what we were using was gari to roast the granules. So I was doing the roasting at the point, then she took over. So she was doing the production, I was doing the marketing. Then if I go into offices, I know I speak eloquently. I'll tell them, if you buy this granite and you beat sand or you beat anyone that is not good, I will refund your money and you will have the granules. Strategy, right? A lot of people, some people bought from me primarily just to prove me wrong. That because I know that there's no way you can bite sand. Number one, we use gari to roast the granules, and it was carefully sorted. So there's no way you can bite sand, and there is no way you can bite bad one. But my marketing, I was communicating. I was very audacious. I was bold with what I was saying. That yes, this granite is one of the best you can have. It was even in that period I got to understand that some people say they eat granite and they have pimples. I got to find out that it is not granite that is causing the pimples. That doesn't mean allergic to fatty oils, right? If you take granite and you have pimples, if you take anything that's fatty, that has high level of fat, you also have pimples. So I did all of this, my reservation. It was then I began to make research, and I tell people, buy my granite. Some will say, oh no, I don't eat granite. If I eat granite, I will have pimples. I'll say, yes, you are going back home. You can buy it for your family. For some men, they will say, no, I don't eat granite. I'll say, yes, buy it for your children. Buy it for your wife. It may be small, but it puts you in a good place in their hearts. So I moved the conversation from just buying granite to appealing to their emotion, saying that it will make their wife love them more. Another thing again that I also observe is how we communicate our product can also help us build and can do more with less. How we communicate should be, number one, confident, audacious, outline the pain points that your product is solving. Miriam also have a vast knowledge in this regard when creating strategy. Miriam, do you want to say something?
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. It's been a lot of very relatable stories you've told us, and we can relate to it. In the spirit of creating strategies, I'll just start by talking about smart creation. Yeah, because the you mentioned pain points. Yeah, so the main thing is actually identifying your target audience, because if I don't know you as my friend, I cannot identify the pain or whatever it is that you're going through and how a particular thing affects you. So I need to know, who are you? So I want to sell, let me go back to the examples you used. Solar energy. I want to sell, a lot of people are selling solar energy. If you go to the market, the local market, you see someone there selling solar energy. If you go to Lekki, you also see offices selling solar energy. So in the different divides, etc., who is your customer? right? Who is your customer? It brings us back to the customer week and everything. I know sometimes when we hear customer and customer relationship, what we think about is treatment, how a customer is being treated and all of that. But then back to the example I was giving. So who exactly are you going to sell to? And part of the smart strategy in creating is identifying who your customer is, because when you identify who your customer is, even if you want to be more effective, you can still break it down. This is especially when you're not when you're bringing your business online. If you want to go digital, you actually need to know who your customer is. If you want to remain in a physical store, selling to physical customers, of course, it's anything that goes. For example, in Balogun or any other market, maybe when you're going to Balogun, you see all those guys that come out, mandilas. They think everybody is going to that mandilas. Right? They are giving you cards. They are telling you, meanwhile, that's the least thing on your mind. But if you want to bring your business, if you want to go digital to your business, you must just like we identified that it is SMEs and newbie marketers we want to talk to. Again, my apologies to newbie marketers, but I believe you're still picking something from these things we are speaking on for SMEs, right? You must identify, we identified, and because of this, we're able to bring everyone together so that we can say things that everyone can relate to. Imagine that we say this meeting or this webinar is for, let's say, multinationals, and then we bring them and start talking about this. At this level, this is not, there are some things that could apply to them, but not at this level. Right? Because they are not, this webinar is not for them. So imagine that in our marketing, we targeted those kind of people. And then all we are now talking about is smart marketing for SMEs and newbies. It's not going to make sense. So once you want to go digital, there are things that you must have in mind. And that is your target audience. Know who they are, know what they want. And that is how you differentiate your business. There's something called market fit, right? Product differentiation. The solar now. So who do you want to sell to? Is it to anybody that wants solar? Once you know who you want to sell to, content strategy becomes very easy. You now know how to talk to them because, okay, I know that I want to sell to the average Nigerian, a 9-to-5 worker, right? I will now know when to do sales, right? They call it sales. Or when you want to do some discounting. I really didn't even want to talk on discounting, but let me call it sales. You want to run sales. For example, you can do it month end. You can now target, this is the time they have money in their hand, or these are the times they make buying decisions, right? You see some ads. Let me use Facebook ads, for example. You're in a supermarket, then you start seeing ads on some things you could get. How are they aware you're in a supermarket and all that, right? So these are the strategies we have to have in mind. When you know exactly who you're selling to, you can actually sell to them. And then we now look at, in communicating these strategies, how can I actually create online? Because I see that online, it's either you have to use a digital device. Because it's digital, you must use a digital device to communicate, just like we are doing right now. I'm in front of devices talking, right? So it's either you want to do videos, it's either you want to do text, right? It's either you want to do videos, text. So text can come in different formats. So that text, do you want to design it, right? Do you just want to put it on a picture, right? And this is where the storytelling strategy comes into play. Going back to the solar again, so you can tell a story. As a 9-to-5, you're so tired. I remember, I think it was the beginning of this year, was it last year? There was this Chinese product. I was trying to help a friend push it, right? We even did one landing page like that for it. It's a projector, but it's just a device. All you just have to get is find a clean empty wall, slot in your memory card, and then on it, and then it's on the wall. So you don't have to do all those plenty setups like when you're using a projector and all of that. I had to go and start looking for stories. People were just enjoying the stories, right? So it tells stories. You can turn these stories now into carousels, right? Carousels are when you have plenty slides. You see when you go on Instagram, you see one slide, then you swipe it, you see another slide. So those are like carousels. Use it and tell stories. If you're too stressed, you don't want to use Canva, right? We'll come to Canva. You can then just post a picture, a very catchy picture, and tell your story in the caption, or just tell your story using the comment section or something, right? So these are just different ways that you can get that done. Stories are very relatable, and then Canva is very simple. We have a course on Canva which you can get, right? It helps you with smart creation, so you don't have to overthink the templates, everything. The free version is already okay. It's now when you're now a designer, you now want to go and be doing Genge designs as an SME or a newbie marketer. You can start playing. I started using Canva without really, I just started experimenting on Canva, and after a while I went to get a course to even know this thing better, because this is my industry, right? And then I bought courses, I learned about it. But before every other thing, I was already using it to try stuff and posting with it and all that. So smart creation is about working with what you have. Stop overthinking it. I don't have money to get a designer, I don't have money to do this, I don't have money to do that. What do you have right? So you have something. Canva, apart from Canva, there are so many other design tools. AI has made it easier. There's ChatGPT. Just learn how to prompt, and then you prompt clearly. If you join, we have we have a collection of prompts we can share with you. After now, we are going to give you a feedback form, right, for you to actually tell us, just to get to know it, so that we can know how to serve you better. So you tell us. So we have all that all together, and if you want that, you just let us know. So Canva lets you look professional without hiring a designer. If you now think, okay, I think I've passed this level, I'm actually trying to do this myself, I now need a designer, that's now you're going to do another level. That's now you're talking about scaling in your business. So we are not talking about business systems today, and we are not going to go into that. Now, one design can become a post, it can become a story, you can even turn it into an ad, you can even repurpose it, the same text or something. So creating smart isn't just about the looks, the message in it. What exactly are you putting? Remember, we started with text, is also important. Now, Emmanuel, from your performance angle, what does this really mean? What does this really mean? But before I come there, I also want to add, I want to add to communicating to convert. The biggest mistakes, like you mentioned, SMEs make is shouting, buy now, buy my market, to buy now. Instead, just say something about it, tell a story about the problem you solve. These people do it very well. Have you seen those people in the market that sell what they call it? Okay, that one too. And the people that sell okrika, thrift. The English word now is thrift. Yeah. So have you seen them singing about? They are not telling you come and buy you or something. Well, maybe some do it, but there are people that they just sing about it, they just tell it, and before you know it, you don't want to buy that thing, but your attention is drawn to it. Why is this person so enthusiastic, about it? So the ones, especially the ones that sell for ladies, they start talking about, start describing the lady or whoever that will be in that dress or something. So for SMEs, you're not there where you want to spend that big money to do something so glamorous. That's right. That's why defining your target audience is important, so that you can use these little strategies to reach them without spending more, without being everywhere, and without doing the common thing the Nigerian would do about saying, come and buy my market, or kneeling down on Instagram, or rolling on the floor. I've seen a lot, roll on the floor, kneel down, I beg, if you don't buy my market, I will not eat. If you don't, nobody cares about that. How many people? And if you see in those, there's nothing really happening on such pages. Come and buy my market. And then when you now scroll through, you cannot even place what exactly they are selling, because what you're selling is not clear. Your bio is not clear. There's no description to tell me this is exactly what you do. This is exactly how you're going to help me. So all those emotional hazards, they are emotional hazards you're causing on Instagram. They are not, they don't help you, and they don't help us at the end of the day. Right? So it's important that you tell a story. It's important that you communicate that story properly. You can even use just 3 words. That's why copywriting is important. I believe every small business owner should know the basics about copywriting. Just the basics. What should I say? Instead of buying now, right? What should I say? How can I tell a story instead of saying buy now? Let's say I'm selling baby clothes. Come and buy baby clothes for your children up to 5 years. I can tell you, you have a lot on your mind already as a new mom. Let's help make life easier for you. We have curated the sets of clothing for baby 0 to 5 years, or for your baby within this age, and all of that. Leave it to them. Leave it open to them. DM, say something. If you want to add your price there, add your price. If it's the price range you want to add it there, instead of shouting come and buy now. All right, so I want you to write something. You usually get a piece of paper, a notepad or something. Write a flat caption. When you post something about your business online, what would you usually write? Okay, then I want you to write out the benefits. Turn it into a benefit-driven version. For example, now use buy now. For example, buy now. Then list out the benefits of them buying that thing. Okay, these things are going to now be your caption sometimes when you want to post. So I can say, let's say I'm selling a course now, or I'm selling I have a service that can help you as a business owner. So I'll just put it more on, let's say I'm doing something for you, or should I say Canva or AI. I won't tell you come and buy now, because just saying it, it's not water. If it's water, I can easily pick water. And if I'm thirsty and all that, it's not water I'm selling. So I'm going to tell you, these are the problems, and this is what this can help you solve. So on a piece of paper or on your notepad, write buy now, or something you consistently do in your business, or something you consistently write in your captions, and then begin to write out the benefits of that thing you want them to buy. All right, you can now convert that into a storytelling, or begin to use that as your caption. That's the storytelling side. Emmanuel, how do we make sure those words actually work? How do we make sure it actually works? Let's talk about testing it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Right, I see we're already closing home. It's been an amazing session so far. So just a quick recap for those who didn't join from the beginning. We talked about how you can do more with less. You don't need to have a big budget like Coca-Cola. I remember in one of my organization in the agency, if you don't spend the client's budget by the end of the month, it's problem. You will explain why you didn't spend the money. So now the thing is, we talked about first, create the strategy, right? This strategy should be laser focused. Talk about their pain points. We also talked about communication, which we talked about how you can do that. Now, how do you test the communication, right? This is also for your target audience. That is simply true. I think the only thing I've not sold online is Nigeria. I've sold a number of stuff online. So how do you communicate? How do you test, right? I've women clothing, right? I remember one particular time we were selling women clothes, and the target audience was men, young men, and the communication was, you don't need to think about her, but you need to have her in your heart, or try to make her have you in her heart, right? I know women are evidence has shown that women are intrigued by little details, right? So it was from there I got to know that there are different sizes for women clothes. They have sizes 11, they have size 12, right? They are size 8, and targeting men, telling them you can buy this dress for her. It will blow her head. So it all depends on how you can communicate. Now, the thing is audience testing. If you remember in my opening statement, I mentioned that one of the key things you can do is to put yourself in the shoe of your target audience. Imagine your audience you are the one buying the stuff. Why would you want to use it? Why do you want to use it? It is generally known that when you sell baby stuff, you target women. What about the men, right? If you sell women clothes, you target women. What happened to the men? You can buy it for your loved one, or you can buy it for your girlfriend, you can buy it for your wife, you can buy it for your sister, but not your pastor's wife, please. Right? That's an lighter note. So the thing is with your target audience. And the interesting part is this: the system, the platforms can tell you about your audience. So this is what I need to say. We didn't say this, Miriam. As a business owner, please have a social media platform, an account. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, if you can. And your business social media handle is not the same as yours, right? It is completely out of place if you are posting happy Sunday, friends and enemies, right? Some people will say haters, jump and pass. Any haters with this speed, jump and pass. And on Monday, you now post others are coming. Others will not come, right? Do you get my point? Personally, I used to have 2 WhatsApp. If I send a message on that particular WhatsApp, I know it's for business. The other one is where I post my personal stuff, right? Some will say it's not that deep. Yes, it's not that deep, but there's a clear distinction between you and your business. Be consistent. The platform themselves will tell you about your audience. If you go to Facebook, your page insights will tell you your audience, their age range. And it's quite interesting that the platform also tells you when your audience are most active. You don't just wake up one morning and post anytime you like. This platform tells you when your audience are more active. Generally, people in Lagos are more active early in the morning, between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. That's when most of them are going to the work. Sorry, they are going to workplace. People living in which place? People living in Abule Egba went to Victoria Island. They are already on the road by 5 a.m. They are on Third Mainland Bridge, pressing their phone early in the morning. When they are coming back, they're in traffic. God help you. The president is leaving is leaving Lagos. You sleep on the road, right? They're on their phone in the evening. So the platform tells you when your audience are more active. So personally, I like running my campaigns in the midnight so that as all of you are waking up, it's hitting you guys, right? And evidence has also shown that people are more active during the weekend. So you need to understand when your audience are more active, depending on your business niche. Some business owners are more active. Some business audience are more active during the week, right, than in the evening. I've seen businesses who told us not to run ads during the week, that it's weekend. From Thursday, campaign needs to go live. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By Monday, they reduce the budget. Weekend, they increase the budget because it's a family product. People are always at home. So understanding your audience, right, and how to communicate with them is not a one-size-fits-all. In digital, in marketing, there's something called test and learn. What works today may not work tomorrow. People are different. People change or behavior very fast, right? For different reasons, maybe they see what works for them and it's not changing. So just to wrap things up, right? First and foremost, I mentioned strategy. Understand what works. How do you want to reach out to your target audience? And you may not have the big budgets, but you may have superior customer experience. You may have amazing design. I don't know how many of you here are fascinated by designs. There are some businesses, when you see their design, you're like, wow, very simple, attention grabbing. Some business owners, their page, a social media page is quite interesting. Like I mentioned, marketing in itself is not always all about budget. It's about connecting with your target audience, speaking their right language, strategizing, right? Some business owners, DMs, 4 days. I've done that before. I just did some ads. I read out to the business owner. After 14 days, you're not asking me, which one do you want to buy? They're not serious, right? And again, personally, I don't like automated messages on WhatsApp, right? Some business owner, your automated message is a welcome message, not episodes, not preaching. right? One long mail before they say, hi, how are you? We're not available. These things nobody will likely tell you. These are things that usually turn off people. Somebody is saying, hello, how much is it? You've gotten 4 automated messages. Come and buy it, or a catalog. All those things, Nigerians are quite interesting, right? Understand again that Nigerians are interesting beings. I don't know, for some of you that are business owners, you wouldn't put payments before delivery. Somebody will come to your inbox and ask, can you collect payments on delivery? Some will say 40,000 is this product. Some will come to your DM and still be asking, she no grade 2.5 or no grade 4,000, right? Nigerians rarely put their card online to make payments. Yesterday, I made a payment. I saw the interface flutter wave, right? I did not put my card. I asked them on the call, is there an account number I can transfer to in case anything's up, right? Nigerians will not put their card. How many of us here put our card in both? No? Hope you know you can put your card on both, and once you are done with your trip, the system takes the money. Nigerians will not do that, though. They will ask you for transfer. Websites, they will come to the website and be asking where's the WhatsApp number. Nigerians don't like automated, risky. It's not risky. The system is funny, right? Someone that is risky. So you need to understand your target audience. Nigerians are interesting beings, right? Nigerians don't like WhatsApp and Facebook messages ad. Nigerians don't like, depending for corporate products. Nigerians like WhatsApp. Even if you do cold calls, you call them, hi, my name is Emmanuel. I'm calling you from Grenada. Call me on WhatsApp. Send me WhatsApp. Call me on WhatsApp. Right? You're calling on WhatsApp, right? So they like WhatsApp. Nigerians like things that you must prove your salt before they can give you their money. Then we talked about communication. Nigerian product have its own level of risk, yes, right? So everybody is trying to, you watch my back, I watch your back, right? So as a business owner, you need to put yourself in a position where they can trust you. Trust me, if people trust you, they will stick their neck on the line. Even if something goes south and somebody come and drag you, in the comment section, I've seen that a lot. People will be the one holding the person. It's a lie. It's not like that. This person cannot do like that. It's something else. Yes, Nigerians are very interesting set of human beings. If they love you to a fault. And if they want to help you, right? If they want to help you, they will help you, and you're going to learn the hard way. So identifying your target audience, the system tells you, one, the demography, how many people, what's their age range, the system tells you. Where do you have more of your target audience? The system tells you. When I mean the system, either Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn will tell you where your audience are more active. Then if you have a website, I don't want to be too technical, with something called Google Analytics, it tells you where your audience are more located, their location in Nigeria. So all of these details you can use to create your target audience. So just to round off, like I mentioned, budget is interesting. So as a business owner, if you are struggling with budget, campaigns are now expensive, right? Gone are the days where you use 1.5 to run ads, daily budget. Currently, depending on the platform, if you don't have up to 10,000 naira daily, right? Don't even try running ads. It's a recommendation, right? I'm not saying you will never run ads. At present, all these other areas that I've mentioned, you can focus on them, because it is not about the naira. It's not about the system. It's the economy, like I mentioned. So, but you can also win big in customer service, response time, your creative, your communication, identifying your target audience, speak to their need. Don't beg them as if you are, don't beg them, don't be too salesy, right? Speak to their product, give irresistible offer. I remember one time, just to round off, yes, I know our time is fast spent. Let me say this. I remember when I was in the agency, my first agency I worked with, we worked with a real estate brand, and the real estate brand, what they do is they build home, and they also do verification. So if you buy land, they can help you verify if the land has issues or not. We were struggling with leads because those things don't matter. People were getting high traffic, but we're not getting leads. So we had to sit down and brainstorm, and we told the business owner, but how long have you been doing this? She said for 15 years, she and her husband. So you mean that you can investigate any land in Lagos? He said, yes. We said, okay, can you give your audience this offer that if any of them contact you to help them verify their land, and you help them verify their land and they pay for the land, and anything happens within 50 years, you will give them back their investments. The woman said yes, that I don't want to speak the Yoruba in a very funny way, but I know that Yorubas used to say that if you are strong, if you are confident in your charm, you test it on yourself, right? So that was what she mentioned, that she has done this over and over. Then instead of the campaigns, before I left, she was the one telling us, oh, can you guys turn off the campaign or reduce the budget, because the leads were enormous. It was overwhelming. Give people reasons to trust you. I'm not saying there are no abuses. People will abuse. Payment on delivery, delivery on payment, pay before delivery. All of these have been abused, both by audience, both by the vendor and the customer. But put yourself in a situation where people can trust you. And I hope that with these 3 points of mine, we can entertain questions. And if you have any other concern you want to address, you can send it my way. Miriam, thank you so much for the opportunity. And thank you all for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. So I wanted to chip in the part where he talked about creating audience. You know, there is the part of creating your own target audience. For example, when you've identified the product. So when you have identified that, what he was talking about is different. That's your ads. When you're setting up your ads, that's what he was talking about, right? That it's now easier for you to create it on Meta. You can easily identify because they help you with that. Yeah. So if you notice the angles that we are going, he's going on the performance side, and I am going on the creative side, right? Creating afresh and all that. I'm just saying so no one is confused, and then you understand these two lines because they are all important in running your business. So from that performance and creative side, setting up your targets and all that. I mean, if you from the creative side, creating your business, if you don't already know who your target audience are, even if Facebook shows you, you're not still going to know, right? So the main part is I am creating something, I know my product, so that once I identify it somewhere, once I see it somewhere, once I see it with a competitor or someone tells me, I know, yes, this is a kind of idea or something that I am going. So please, while we are still talking, you can go ahead and start dropping your questions in the chat box. We'll get to it. And so I just want to drop some things for the newbie marketers. If you're new in marketing, I want to tell you that marketing is an experiment, so that you're not scared. Nobody knows it all. I don't know it all, but I know enough to give results. Right. So if you keep staying there in the fear, you're never going to do anything. And if you don't do anything, you're never going to have results. So you need to know that, okay, this thing I'm going to experiment it. We've had different webinars in the past, but we've never had this webinar ever called Doing More with Less. And even if we have another one, let's say 2.0, we've never had that type again. Right. All I can now, since we've done it before, I can now take the data from this one that we just had, check the people, wage your interest, check what you like, and see how I can adjust it. That's products. Now I'm trying to put something in your mind, so you put it as something in your business, right? Okay, so this is what these people like. This is what worked. This is not what didn't work, right? And then I try to put when I'm doing the next one, I have data to work with. Gradually, we are now moving into, remember, we are going to talk about AI and data too. We're now going to look at how you can use that. So for newbie marketers, you're doing something, whether it's Google, you're setting up a Google account for clients, or you're setting up social media generally accounts, or wherever you're managing any account, the most important thing you need to learn when it has to do with creative marketing is copywriting, actually. Because if you don't understand as simple as target audience, understand people's psychology, understand words, how to use words, how exactly are you going to come in? Every other thing needed is just tools. So I already understand the psychology. How do I fix it into tools and push it out to get results. So that's it. Social media marketing. So some people, they call them social media handlers. They are not really marketing. They are not doing any content strategy. They are just posting, right? They're just helping you to post. That's not marketing. So when you're actually marketing is when there's a strategy driving what you're doing. For example, let's say that a certain company, or let's say that we want to, okay, for instance, this webinar we are having now, let's say it's tied to a business objective that at the end of this year we would have done something similar for SMEs, and right now we are doing it. It means that in the marketing, I already know who I'm going to target. Do you get? So when we're posting this, it was posted with an end in mind. Remember, it's tied to a business goal, right? It's tied. When we are now posting, we are not just posting. We've identified the people we are trying to reach out, and we've put that, immerse that into our copy. That is why on the flyer you will see for SMEs and newbie marketers, right? And then you see there, we've imputed it there, and in the captions we put it there. So even if we want to run ads, we already know the people we are running ads to. We create a particular list to run that ads to, and that is the people that get it. You see how these different touch points come together so that you don't have scattered marketing. And when you have your content strategy right, you don't really need to spend much. You don't really need to keep putting money to run ads here and there and all that. All you now need is consistency, right? Consistency as an SME, consistency in your journey as a newbie marketer, because you're not going to know everything in one day. Remember, I said marketing is experiment. So if you start something and it failed, nobody showed up, nobody did anything, nobody liked, nobody came. And even if anyone came, maybe it's your parents that came or your siblings just to show the support and all of that. They just came. They are not even coming because of the webinar. They are coming because they just want to show you support and all of that. Great. You just did something great for yourself. You started, you did something. You can now go back to the dashboard. Okay, what happened? How should I have shared? What is the strategy? What should I have done better? Right? And those are the things you should have in mind. This is how you prove your value. So when you're now, let's say as a newbie marketer, when you now want to put something in your CV, you can now write curated and ran a live event. You know, you've done something. It doesn't matter how many people that show there. When you now have the numbers, when you start doing numbers, you can now start doing numbers, add to the proof. Okay, so that is the proof concept. Now, by showing results, you have to prove value. You see how you prove values. Then back to the newbie marketers too. The content strategy you make is also a way to prove your value. That is how you show results from your words. Like we were saying for the business owners, buy now. You don't go and write buy now. So also as a newbie marketer, you don't go and make that mistake as well. So you show results from your words, and that's where copywriting comes into place. We already have that materials. If you want it, you can always reach out to us. And at this point, I want to encourage you to follow us on Instagram so you can get updated with any future thing or updates or anything that we might have for you. All right, so we could just move on to the analytical part, which is Emmanuel has touched on it, but I'll say something to it, and I'll also leave the floor for him to talk. Okay, he has talked about customer behavior for SMEs, and all that. And also as an SME, you must not do everything yourself. You can have an assistant. You can have someone that the only thing they do is to respond to DMs for you or something. You can break down these plenty tasks. Even if you don't have a social media manager, you can have a particular part of social media, a particular part of your WhatsApp. Now you can duplicate your WhatsApp so that you're looking at it from one end, your staff or something is doing their stuff from the other end, and you see what is happening. So you can help yourself and make smarter decisions, smarter business decisions, smarter marketing decisions. For new marketers, AI helps you move faster. but always validate with simple data like engagement rates, right? Because engagement rates such as your social media analytics, don't just keep posting and posting and posting. Go to that insights, that professional dashboard they keep showing you. Go there, check it, take a screenshot, put it on Google Docs. Every month you take it, then you begin to monitor, okay, what did I do that did better? What can we do here that what worked better here? So please, are you dropping your question in the chat? Who did also, I want to find out who did the exercise of the copy. Please, if you did it, also drop it in the chat or lift your hand or do something, show a sign that you did something like that. If you had the exercise about write down the buy now and show some benefits and all of that. All right, are we here? Can you hear me? All right, so moving into AI now, part of our 3Cs, create, communicate, and connect. So moving into AI for creating, AI can speed up your design, and content, but it won't replace your creativity. So please, when you copy all those things from ChatGPT, maybe caption or something, make sure you edit it to your feel. Remember, we talked about target audience earlier, to the feel of your target audience too. You can grow as an SME with just your phone, Canva, and then understanding how storytelling works. Not really heavy ads. So from time to time, you could choose the kind of post you just maybe want to boost. If you don't want to boost, you can do your ads targeting and all of that. But because that's not where we are going to, because we are trying to do more with less. So we are focusing on the little things and little strategies you can do to push your business. So for newbie marketers, there are so many AIs that can help you, but my advice would always be start with your brain first, right? For me, starting off, there was no AI like that. There was no AI like that. So the copywriting, you have to go and think about the business, do the target audience analysis, your market research, and put all that together before you now start thinking of content that you want to create and all of that. But now AI can help you do all of that. As much as AI can help you, you can still end up not getting it right, because AI is garbage in, garbage out. That's why understanding copywriting is important. So these are just it from our 3Cs: create, communicate, and connect. Emmanuel talks about connecting with your audience, the part that you don't all those automated messages and all of that, they don't help you to connect. I don't want to chat someone up and I find out that I'm talking to a machine and all of that. So please, I'm not seeing any question in the chat box, or if you want to also say something, feel free to raise your hand. All right, so let's get into it. If you have a question, you can raise your hand or ask. No questions? Can anyone hear me? Do you want to add something? Do you want to say something? Please go ahead. If you have any questions to ask. If you have questions to ask about Canva. Okay, I'm seeing some thumbs up. Does it mean you have a question, or it means we should go ahead? You can actually raise your hand, or you just say something in the chat box. So I don't get the mixed signals. I see Bright Bethwell did a thumbs up. Do you have a question, Bright?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I believe that is it for tonight. So remember, create smart and communicate to convert. You have to communicate to convert whatever business that you're doing. This is how you do more with less. And if you found this useful, we are having a digital toolkit class on October 21st. This goes deeper into Canva, how to actually use Canva, how to actually use copywriting in your business, and AI tools that can help you level up as an SME, as a newbie marketer. All right. We also have a replay to this class. That is why we have a feedback form that we'll be sending to you after this class, so that when you fill it, we know how exactly to help you, right? All right. Thank you so much, everyone. If you don't have anything to share now, please hang in there for our digital toolkit class coming up October 21st. Who wants that? Who is excited about that? Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Please follow us. Who has already followed us yet? Go on Instagram, as I'm going to place the link right here for you to easily access it, so that you don't miss out on the digital toolkits. This is an extension of all that we have said here. The more practical aspects is going to be 5 days of going with you on this journey, taking you 1 month of taking you hand by hand. And if you just want a course, you want to go and learn on your own, we also have that for you. But if you want us to take you by the hand for maybe a month, you want to understand some things, you need someone, you want to ask your business questions, things are bothering you, you don't know who to ask, and all of that. Of course, that is what the digital toolkits class, all the tools, whether it's physical tools, creative tools, analytical tools that you want to get your hands on.